I just wanted to say welcome to everyone for coming out tonight. I know the weather hasn't been the best, but I'm so happy it held up so you all could get in here tonight. So we just want you to know we are a library with a special mission. Please tell your friends, tell your family, and ask them to come here. We also help people apply for jobs and look. Okay? So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Floyd. I would like to give a special thank you to all the sponsors, friends of Jamaran College City Library, thecouragetobelieve.com, which is my book, Design Nation, fepouli.org, it's fepouli.org, the CCW Network, Ladis, and special thanks to Jimmy Moyes of H Media Management, Chief Carlene St. Facile, Chef, yes. Carlene St. Facile and Chef, Vanessa Jerome of Sophisticated Delectable Treats, which you guys will have a chance to avail yourself later on. Before I call up Mr. Poet JV, I'd like to say hello to Lamar Fisher, the mayor of Pompano Beach. You have to say something, Mr. Mayor. That's the crowd.
We already introduced our Vice Mayor, George Brummers, with us as well. His part, of course, is his district in the Collier City area. But I just want to come by and say hello and congratulate you and congratulate the success and also the sponsors that made this happen. And this is one of them right here. And to be a part of this wonderful event. So anything as a city, the Vice Mayor, we can do to you, help you in any way we can, please call out.
Thank you.
Please be with us because we're there with you, okay? God bless you.
Appreciate it.
All right?
Our esteemed host is the author of his own biography called The Courage to Believe. In it, he recounts his very humble beginnings. He also recounts his failures, his successes, and his triumphs. It is a must-read, and Kevin is a teacher, a motivational speaker, an FAU graduate, an author, an internet marketing SEO expert. I had to look up what SEO was. An entrepreneur and an active community volunteer. This afternoon, he will be presenting a brief history of Haiti. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Dorval.
Thank you.
And don't make it long.
Yes, ma'am. I am going to give a presentation on Toussaint Louverture, who was the Haitian general of the Haitian Revolution. I'm going to start off with a speech that he said back in 1793. Brothers and friends, my name is Toussaint Louverture. Perhaps you have heard of my name. I have taken vengeance. I want liberty and equality throughout Saint-Domingue, and I'm fighting hard to make that happen. Unite with us, brothers. Fight with us for a common cause. Your humble servant of the King, Toussaint Louverture. Who is Toussaint Louverture? Toussaint Louverture wasn't just your average African or Haitian or slave. He was the son of a king, grandson of a king in West Africa, a warrior kingdom. A warrior kingdom that lasted 500 years in the west of Africa. During the whole slave trade, there were 3.5 million slaves that were transported from Africa to the Caribbean. 800,000 of those slaves ended up in Saint-Domingue, which is called Haiti today. Toussaint did not grow up like everyone else. He did grow up in slavery, born into slavery, fought for his freedom. But it wasn't just an A-B type thing or overnight victory. Toussaint was born on May 20th, 1743. He was born on a plantation called Breda, and he learned how to read and write by himself, or self-taught. He was also able to travel to France a few times with the son of the slave owner. Toussaint had a fondness for horses. He loved horses. He was so good at horses that they say that he was born half man and half horse. There are legends that said that he rode horses 125 miles a day with horse stables all over the country. Back in 1791, there was a voodoo priest that was born in Jamaica that had a ceremony in the woods with the slaves. And they said, 2 weeks from now, we are going to set the plantations on fire. Enough of slavery. My people were tired of working on the slave plantations 12 hours a day, sometimes even 16 to 18 hours a day if the sugar plantations, the sugar canes were in harvest. Mr. Toussaint didn't have to work the plantations. However, he's seen his brothers and sisters slaving for hours and hours, not just by the crack of the whips by the overseers or the slave owners, but the sun, and also the man-eating ants that were all over the sugar canes. These ants weren't your average ants, and the Frenchmen knew that. The French would bury our people neck high in dirt and smother their heads with honey to allow the ants to eat them alive. That is how cruel they were treated for a little over 100 years. But Toussaint, being a great reader, he loved to read. As a matter of fact, he spoke French, wrote and read both languages, knew that if anybody was going to fight for his people, it was going to have to be him. This wasn't a battle to just wait out and see. He stood up and fought for what he believed in. But that night in 1791, when the slaves took over plantations and slaughtered thousands of the Frenchmen, Toussaint knew that now is the time. As a matter of fact, he read a book by a man named Abe Renal, a French philosopher. And in this book was a prophecy. He said someday there will be a slave from Africa that's going to overturn the government and take over. When Toussaint read that, he said it hit him like a rock. It hit his spirit so hard because he knew that he could no longer live that good life he was living as a free man. He won his freedom because the slave owner gave him his freedom. So when the revolution happened, he sent his slave owner to Baltimore and sent his wife and kids to Dominica. He took about 2,000 Africans into the woods to train for 2 months because he knew once they started setting the fires that the French were coming, but they wasn't ready. They had the heart, they had the strength, but he knew his Africans were not ready. He trained them, taught them discipline, and now it was time for war. Toussaint was so good in battle that they gave him the name Louverture. His birth name is Francois Dominique Breda. He took off the name Breda, that's a slave owner's name, and added Louverture, which means the opening. Just somehow, some way, Toussaint kept coming up with the way to win. He had the hook up on everything. In due time, after beating about 50,000 Frenchmen, even Spain brought 20,000 of their soldiers, not Spain, British. They sent 20,000 of their soldiers. Toussaint and his men annihilated them, along with Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Henry Christophe. As a matter of fact, in 1793, Henry Christophe was in Savannah, Georgia. If you look in the sheets of paper that we have, the interesting facts about Haiti, you will see, 1778, that there were about 500 free men from Haiti fought to help the American Revolution against the British. These men came back from winning in Georgia. As a matter of fact, there's a statue in there right now giving honor to all the Haitians that fought in that war to help America gain their freedom. That's something that also that you guys won't know in the history books. But Toussaint, in 1781, he wrote his own 1781, he wrote his own constitution. He's the first black man to write his own constitution. And also in that constitution, he wrote that he's going to outlaw discrimination. He's the first person in the world to do that. There's another thing they won't teach in the history books. The slave rebellion in Haiti was the first successful slave rebellion in the world that ended up creating their own nation. Toussaint, to me growing up, wasn't just, a hero. I mean, this guy motivated me. And when I read about him, it made me want to learn more about my history, about my people. Not just Haiti, but Africa. But I was blessed in college too, because the professor at the time, she knew I didn't know my history. She knew I didn't know nothing about Haiti before Haiti. So she made me do the project, did the PowerPoint, and that's when my eyes opened, and found out that Toussaint Louverture came from a warrior kingdom. As a matter of fact, like Mr. Gonzalez Joseph said, there were many of the Africans came from different warrior kingdoms throughout Africa. So the Frenchmen had no idea who they had enslaved. They had no idea that these men were trained soldiers in Africa and was ready to fight for their freedom. Toussaint said this quote, "Esclavage, n'importe côté, c'est un trait pour liberté tout côté," which means slavery anywhere is a threat to freedom everywhere. Mr. Toussaint, and let me rewind a little bit, Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, the first and the third presidents of the United States, supported the French to beat the Africans, but they did not win. As a matter of fact, Thomas Jefferson gave the French $400,000 to win the war, along with weapons, but he still didn't win. And that in itself was an embarrassment to the United States government due to the fact that they supported slavery knowing that it was wrong. You can look this up. I'm not, I want you guys to look this up yourself, do your research. But however, Thomas Jefferson was smart. He was funding the French, but then realized if the Haitians win, then the French will become broke, because 1/3 of France's economy, over half their finances came from the sugar fields of Saint-Domingue. So if the French were to lose, then they knew that the French would have to sell Louisiana along with 13 other states. I think it's 13 or 15, but the Louisiana Purchase. That in itself should be in the books, because a lot of these states wouldn't even be here today. It would be French territory. But thankfully, Toussaint, along with the other men and women that fought bravely for the freedom of their people, I am proud to be a Haitian American today.
C'est pour esclaves qu'on a chanté, voyez, peuple nous monter, est-ce que nous t'es songé, c'est nous qui t'es premiers. I wasn't born in Haiti, but Haiti was born in me. I'm a first-generation Haitian who was also a product of the immigrant migration. My parents came here in search of a better life. Seeking salvation, they moved to the States, a risk many are willing to take, and the ones that do, by example, lead. And that brings us to where I was conceived, a place called Brooklyn, New York. Yes, I was born there, but still had the fear of acknowledging my true Haitian culture. I moved to Queens when I was 6, and the same mind tricks that called me refugee haunted me and made me not want to be Haitian. So how can I smile when my people are being made fun of? I'm asking my fellow peers, where's the love? Silly stereotypes which stab at my self-esteem, trying to submerge me in the strong currents of the Atlantic. When my parents would go to parent-teacher meetings, I would panic, because when you heard my father's heavy Haitian accent, that meant that I'd be the joke of the class the next day in school. Boat people, refugee, just to name a few. What was I supposed to do? So I crawled back in my shell all the while still in denial of all of the rich history that Haiti had to offer to the world. It wasn't until I moved to Miami and I was already in my teens that I found out that Haiti was the first independent black nation in the world. In the Antilles, we were considered the pearl. So I started to research, document, archive historical events and facts that may have fell through the cracks. No longer will I hide behind these silly stereotypes that would denounce the legacy of my ancestors. Now I was conducting educational workshops to the youth that once thought like me. I wasn't born in Haiti, but Haiti was born in me. Thank you very much. Freed out of bondage, you gotta pay homage. The most illustrious war, 1804, never done before. So I quantum leap to 1784. We talked about breaking the chains, breaking the pain. But since I was struggled, it's never been the same. I sat at the ceremony, 1791, at Bois Caïman. A brother named Bookman, African Jamaican descent, sent from the heavens to represent. A ceremony took place to erase all the scars that took place. Now the war has finally begun to be free. And indépendance! By any means, led by Dessalines, field of many dreams, haunted by bloody streams to preserve mountainous greens. Neg Mawon in military attire, no guns, we still exchange fire. We ignite the minds of young writers and gave birth to revolutionary fighters. A quote from Toussaint, Liberté ou la mort, death before, dishonor no more. How could a young country be so poor? They took our riches, embarked on our shores. They twisted our laws, but we fought for the cause. In 1804, the flag was sown. Now the true red and blue is flown. It said, L'Union fait la force. The French army thrown off course. They underestimated us, and that's why they lost. Napoleon Bonaparte's army torn apart. The true generals, war is an art. Tattooed Dakota arms in my heart. Haiti, you in my heart. Sat in the cipher of the circle of the spark. First free black republic, we made our mark. We built an ark to cross the raging seas. But now they call us refugees just to be free.
That's Mecca, aka Grimo. Give him another round of applause. And like we mentioned,
using books information, they're elsewhere. Like all articles, stuff that we have, they're in other countries. They're in British museums. They're in French museums. They're in American museums. There's a bust of Dessalines, an original bust. It's at the Congressional Library in Washington, D.C. We need to start a movement so that they can include more of us in the history. Like I said, it's three major revolutions that changed the face of the world today as we know it. Two of them one is the French Revolution, which gave birth to the American Revolution and the Haitian Revolution. The Haitian Revolution is not talking about a big gap between African Americans and Haitian Americans. Why? Because they don't let you guys know what Haiti did. America is as strong as it is because of Haiti's contribution.
one shot, you get on iTunes, please support her. You know, go on your phones, Google search it, all that good stuff. And she has a single on YouTube, which is awesome. If you missed her recent performance of God Bless America at La Martina, Miami Polo World Cup in 2013, well, she had dazzled the world. And that's it. Oh yes, we have some more. In the last few weeks, Saskaya has performed at the Taste of Haiti in Miami for a crowd of 500 plus, opened for legendary Haitian artist Emmeline Michel to a crowd of 700 and more, and performed La Dessalinienne, the Haitian national anthem, for the General Council of Haiti, Miami. She has also been chosen to perform the national anthem exclusively at all events with the Miami Police Athletic League. She is a university student, a big sister, a mentor, a singer, songwriter, a recording artist, a Pompano Beach girl, and graduate of Coventry High School. She is the sky's limit.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here among my people to celebrate this amazing history of ours. I came here when I was 12 years old, and I must tell you, especially the kids that are listening, it was not easy to be a Haitian descendant. It was, I didn't think that it was gonna be that hard. Learning the language, for one, that was just, the English language is actually a really hard language. Getting to know the culture and adjusting with everything that I needed to adjust with. Going through bullying, going through just, I had to, I almost lost myself because I felt I was not accepted for who I was. Being a Haitian girl, they're telling you that you're no good just because you're Haitian. And a lot of things that people throw at us, I hope this doesn't make you feel any kind of way. The first thing they would say is the whole religious belief with voodoo, okay? And that was thrown a lot at me as a child. Oh, you Haitian, you eat this, you eat that. Oh, okay, well, let me tell you something. For one, why did they diss Jesus the way they did? Because he was a king, because he was a great person. And I wonder why everyone think that we are not pure. We are not to be accepted. We are the least of all kinds. Why do they turn their backs on us? Are they afraid that if they give us their hands that we may go above them? Are they afraid that we may be too strong for them? Are they afraid that whatever it is that we have within, they don't want it to be revealed because it will reveal the truth about us being kings and queens? We are great. We are great. We are great. We are the kings and the queens of this world, and that's that. Our history will forever live, and we are Haitian people. This song that I'm gonna sing two songs for you. The first song I was because I like to leave the rest as a surprise for you. Okay, and it's called My Haiti. I'm so sorry about that. All right. Looked up the sky, beautiful stars. Shining in my eyes. This was the time living my life, just the way I like. And even though I can't be there, doesn't mean that I don't care. Ooh. And even though I know where I belong. Ooh, I'm talking about my Haiti. I'm talking about my Haiti. And even though I can't be there, doesn't mean that I don't care. Ooh, even though I have been gone, I know where I belong. I'm talking about my Haiti, my Haiti, my Haiti, my Haiti. much. A little something I'd like to let you know about me is that I'm not a materialistic person. I appreciate everything God has created for us to just be able to live freely and to just enjoy everything, you know, that nature has to offer. You know, things like the sun, just everything that we have to our advantage. And this song is about the fact that I don't need much to make the best of this life. I just need a dream. It's called I Don't Need Much. Today was not a bad day. The sun shine through my window. Plus I made a little bit of money. Made it through the heartaches. Oh, I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't care to change a bit. You can't tell me otherwise. Don't need your opinions but my own. Through everything I do, just need some chords, a little bit of and a dream. I don't need much. You've got to know how to hold me. I don't need gold. I don't need much. I don't need much. I don't need much. I don't need much. I don't need a whole lot, no. I don't need much. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I got a 9 to 5 and my boss, he's a jerk. I don't care, just need the weekend off with my glass. I'll be thinking of the game plan. In my heart I'm a star. I'll be doing my thing. I just need some gold, a little bit of change, oh, and a dream. I don't need much.